Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 7 o'clock on Saturday the 16th of January. Just making my way down to the land. As always, never quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, I'm just opening up the cabin. You can't actually see anything quite yet across the field. It's just a grey glow on the horizon. So I'm going to get the cabin opened up, and first things first, of course, get the fire popped on because it's cold and it's very wet this morning. Well, it's slowly starting to get light, and I'm just taking some supplies out of the car, trying to take advantage. The rain has literally just stopped, but looking at the sky, I think there's a lot more to come. So I've got the fire going down at the cabin. I'll get rid of these bags into the polytunnel, and I'll tell you what they are a little bit later on. Not quite sure if you'll see in this light or not, but this is bags of sawdust for the composting toilet. So I'll just get these quickly put inside, keep them dry, and hopefully the kettle will have boiled. Well, we're gradually getting some light. I've just boiled the kettle up, but I thought I'd just quickly run round the outside. You can see we've got standing water in a couple of places around the field. I've got all that sawdust put away. One quick thing, that water barrel that I put in, can you hear that squelching under my feet? Believe it or not, I don't know if you'll see or not down there, but yeah, you probably can. The water rattling around. That barrel is actually full to the brim. And rain, we've not really had rain, we've had snow, so there'll be a bit of melt water off that. But last night it chucked it down, and it's been raining this morning, so that barrel is already full. So you know what that means, don't you? I'm gonna have to get some more. But at least I know gradually I am building up stocks, so that's good. Just in case we get a repeat of last year and we get a load of hot weather during the summer. How far away does that seem right now? Anyway, I'm going to get myself in and get this cup of coffee. All this running around outside, I'm getting a bit wet. Well, hi everyone, welcome to another weekend down at the cabin. It's certainly a wet weekend this weekend. The weather's been shocking this week. We've had a few days of snow where we've had, well, it depends which bit of the country you're in. My sister's had an awful lot. They were skiing where she lives. Fortunately, we've not had that much. We've had probably, I don't know, 2 inches, maybe 3 inches in places. More at work than at home, it has to be said. It has been a bit challenging moving around on the roads this week. Not necessarily that the snow was too bad, it was just the standards of driving, and the amount of cars I passed on the road that had just been like abandoned. People had given up and gone home. Yeah, I'm tempted to say it's surprising, but actually it isn't. The slightest bit of fog or snow or rain, and it's just carnage on the roads. Anyway, I digress, as I always do. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you are staying safe and making the most of your weekend. Not quite sure what I'm going to get done down here this weekend. The plan is for planting. Sorry, I'm just gazing through the window out of the garden room. I can see neighbouring fields as activity, people coming down to feed the livestock. but I'll let you see what I'm doing as I go along through the video. One thing I did want to kind of highlight today, thank everybody for coming in on the live stream on Thursday. Really nice to see so many people and quite a few new people joining in the chat, and very nice to see that little community building up, people chatting amongst themselves. Very big thank you to the people who gave a super chat on that live stream. So Shawnee and Hoot, thank you again very much for that. It is really appreciated, and it does help me as I try and expand what I'm doing down here. So thank you again for that, really was appreciated. I did read through the comments on the live chat replay video, because it is really difficult as you're talking away on these videos. It's hard to keep an eye on what's going on in the chat, really difficult. Sometimes it just whizzes by. So if I ever do miss people who comment on live streams, apologies for that, and hopefully you'll understand why that might be. But I did have a read through the comments. One quick shout out, Mikey B, I noticed that you've just got yourself a new job in amongst all of this COVID chaos, so well done to you for that. It can't have been easy with so many people out of work and all chasing the same job. It is nice just to sit here sometimes, even if you're not actually doing anything. It is nice and peaceful down here, and it does give you the chance to reflect and think about what you might want to be doing either today or in the upcoming weekends. But focus today is planting. I'll have a quick look around and share with you the temperature difference. As I was driving in, it was just hovering on 1 degree or 33 degrees depending where you come from. So it is still cold, even though the snow has gradually started to melt away and be replaced by some quite heavy rain this morning. The temperatures aren't doing much, so it will be interesting to see what the difference is, the various parts of the cabin, and I might have my plans thwarted for planting this weekend, because we are still getting a lot of minus degree temperatures, especially through the night. I know it was dropping down -3, -4 at home last night. So it might be a bit ambitious of me to try and plant things here rather than in the house. But frankly, I just don't have the space there. 2 or 3 pots, and that's my windowsills gone. Anyway, I'll get this coffee down me, see what we can achieve today. It might be a very, very slow day, but one quick other thing to mention. We have got the prize giveaway, so I'll probably do that when I get home from the cabin today. So it's all on the same video, and then we can take a look at getting prizes out to the winners when I get back to work next week. So for now, I'll sign off and see if we can get something done. I'll put a bit more wood on the fire and get this coffee down me. Well, let's take a little run around and see what we've got in terms of temperatures. We've got a, what's that, 8 degrees, 7 degrees, 8 degrees in the cabin. Just take a little look out in the garden room. I've popped a couple out here because it does vary a little bit. And we've got 5, just over 5 degrees, almost 6 degrees there. What we got over here? Yeah, pretty much the same, between 5 and 6 degrees. Now then, what are we going to have in here is the burning question. Not much different, I'm going to guess. What have we got? Let's get that cover off and take a little look. Is it going to focus? Or is it not going to focus? There we go. So we've got between 4 and 5 degrees, which is a bit curious because that's slightly less. So a flaw in the plan there, and I'm not sure why that is, unless it's because they're sat on the ground. I don't know. So what do you think? Is it going to be enough? We've actually got condensation on that one, look. So it is warmer in there. Well, it's not warmer, it's warm enough to generate condensation inside of that tray. But I don't know, what do you think? Should I or shouldn't I? Either way, I need to get compost into trays and pots and tubs, so it can start warming up. So we will get that done today. But do we plant or do we not plant? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Well, it's not really the weather for it, but it never is it? I've just been emptying out these big barrels, and I've used the soil out of those to make a base, for that last raised bed. You remember that had pots in before, so I'm going to create another bed out of that. I've popped a bit of chicken manure in the bottom of those barrels, I'll top them up with fresh compost, and I've done the same here in this raised bed, so I'll do the same. I'll top that off with fresh compost. The one at the end, I did put some organic fertiliser in that at the end of the planting, sorry, at the end of the harvesting season last year, so that should in fact be all right. But again, I'll just top it off with a bit of fresh compost. I'll do the same thing with these beds, the ones that had the pumpkin and the squash in. I'll dig those over as well. Just generally having to tidy up, as I am in the polytunnel. The polytunnel's looking a bit sorry for itself. It's actually now more full of wood and compost than it is anything else. I have got these plants though that I've been saving for this year, so I've got loads of strawberries there just kind of doing their thing. A couple of blueberry bushes from last year, fig tree, and cranberry bush from last year. These are the 3 pots, are those elderberry cuttings I took, which I don't know if you'll see or not, but they are hanging in there. They have actually got, if it'll focus, which it's not going to, they have got buds on them. So I'm quite hopeful for those, and I will be taking some more cuttings of those. So I've opened up a nice little space here now, cleared out. I'll get some trays and some smaller pots in, and I may as well fill all of those in here, keep all the mucky stuff in the polytunnel. I've got plenty of compost to go at. I've got 9 bags that I brought down this last week, and half a bag there. I will get more as we go through the next few weeks, just to get a big stock of it. But for now, my fingers are very cool, so I am tempted to get back inside the cabin and get the benefit of that fire and maybe have a cup of coffee. You know, I just can't help myself. Well, that's those raised beds and pots done with the fresh compost. That's ready for planting, that. I wish I was putting stuff in it. The tubs I'm just leaving half full, because clearly I'll put the seed potatoes in at some point, and they'll need banking up as they grow. Leaving these cauliflowers in this one just to see what happens. I'm hopeful that they're going to produce something early this year. They're certainly looking healthy enough, as is the garlic and those couple of onions. In fact, they could probably do with being lifted out. I might do that today, might not. These are the cauliflowers that I put in late last year. They did get hammered by caterpillars. I'm tempted to just leave them for a few weeks to see what happens, rather than just pull them out for no real reason other than to make it look nice. Done that little, I think that was pumpkin, that bed, and I've done this bed as well. So the kettle has boiled. I keep boiling it and then getting distracted, so I'm going to get myself in the cabin and see if I can't get some of that fire to warm me up a little bit. Oh, well, I know I say it in lots of videos, but I don't know where the time goes. I really don't. To say that I was going to do a quick planting job or a quick filling up trays job, it is easy to get distracted. So I've just been outside busy sorting out those big potato barrels that I planted in last year, and the raised beds. I've used some of the old compost as a base for creating that first raised bed that was all pots last year. So I'll be planting out in 3 beds this year, plus those barrels, and then I've got all of the polytunnel raised beds to go at as well. But having seen the time it takes to do the small ones, those big ones are going to be a challenge. Having said that though, I I suspect that a lot of that polytunnel will be filled with pots for things like the peas, the tomatoes, definitely carrots. There'll be lots of those this year. But yeah, time. It takes longer than you think. I'll be having this coffee and a warm. It's where are we? It's 15 degrees, maybe 16 actually, in the cabin. And that's with the door open. I've got the cabin door and the garden room door open. Not full, but enough to let the cold air in. I'm just trying to keep a bit of a draft on that fire to keep it going. Lost all train of thought then. Yeah, I'll be having this coffee and then I'll be in polytunnel. I'll get a lot of trays and pots filled with compost, that fresh compost I've got, because it's surprising how much you use. I was all proud of myself saying I've got 9 bags plus a half bag earlier on today. Well, 3.5 bags have gone into the raised beds and the tubs or the barrels outside. And bear in mind those barrels are only half full as well. So you do get through it a lot quicker than you think. But that's good, positive. If I get everything done over the course of this next couple of weekends, I'll just be able to keep topping up as I come backwards and forwards for shopping or calling in from the way home from work. So I'll work my way through my existing stock and I'll be topping up with more as we go through this next few weeks. So yeah, I'll get this coffee down me and then you can see what I'm doing in the polytunnel. I've still got 2 pots of carrots that were in that raised bed that I've just filled. So I'll be taking those out, I think, today. That'll save me buying carrots in the shop. The ones that you buy in the shop, I think I mentioned this in one of the more recent videos. Somebody had commented, I think, on the live stream. The vegetables we're getting now, I don't know whether it's just this year or I don't know what the reason is, but the carrots are literally within 2 or 3 days of bringing them out the shop. They are starting to rot. And the potatoes, they're supposed to be these small baby new potatoes. They've got to be last year's stock. Got to be. Because they are chitting within a few days. And they have got some damage. I'm guessing frost damage. So it just kind of reinforces the point about growing your own. The stuff that we're getting out of the supermarkets, it's mass produced, the quality is not great, particularly in terms of taste, and a lot of it is damaged or going off very, very quickly. So the more you can get your own vegetables in your own garden going, the better. You can harvest them as you want to harvest them. If you don't need them, you can leave them in the ground, as I've done with these carrots. And it'll be interesting to see, especially since we've had a lot of frost, really cold, -5s, -6s this last few weeks. It'll be interesting to see how they're doing in those pots. Have they frozen and ruined, or are they hanging in there? Because they're not in the ground per se, they are in pots which are exposed all the way up the entire height of the pot to whatever weather you've got outside. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's in those. So look out for that later. I'll get this coffee down me and then we'll do a little bit more with the compost and seed trays. I think the farmers have all got the same idea as me because there's no end of tractors and farm machinery floating around today past the field here. They're obviously getting into spring mode, which is nice to see. Well, there's no great science to this. I've got my trays and pots, got my compost. The trouble with these compost bags is once you, when you get them, they're like vacuum sealed. So you end up with, as soon as you open the bag, you end up with these rather large lumps that you've got to break up. So literally all I'm be doing for the next God knows how long is just breaking up the lumps into the bigger pots so that it's nice and fine to go into the smaller seed trays. So this will keep you busy for a lot longer than I think it will, but I'll show you some progress shots as I go through filling the various buckets and trays, rather than you sitting here for the next God knows how long watching me endlessly doing this. Well, we're making a little bit of progress. I've got some other smaller trays filled and I'm just filling up some of these buckets. One quick tip on these buckets: when you're filling them, just push down the edges of the bucket as you fill it up, and that way, once it's done and you start planting and watering, if you've compacted around the edges of the bucket, I mean, press it all down firmly, but just make a point of going round the outside of the bucket to press that down a little bit more firmly, and then when you water, the water won't simply just run down the sides of the buckets and straight out the bottom. Top tip there. Well, it's 12:30 already. The time's just flying by, and you probably can see that that pile of compost has disappeared. From that 9.5 bags I started with, I've got 1.5 left. So I've used 8 bags already. But what have I been doing? Well, here we go. I've got 20 of the big pots all lined up ready. They'll really be for carrots and perhaps peas, because I'll be growing carrots all the way through the year in buckets, so I'll need some succession planting for those. I've got my 5 trays ready for the garden room, and I've got another 6 trays which shall be in the garden room as well, as a bit of an experiment. So it's taken forever, but we've got trays with compost in now and pots with compost in, so good progress. I just need to shuffle some of these into the garden room, decide where I'm going to put them, and have a little think about what I'm going to put in them. But what I really need to do is get out of this polytunnel, which is quite cold, and get back in the cabin and have a bit of a warm-up. Well, while I'm waiting for that kettle to boil, I'll just pop a few plants in. I've got some tags so I know when I've planted them and what they are. I mean, I know that's potato, but I might forget when I planted them. So I'm literally just going to take a few of these potatoes with chits. I think we'll try 3 in that one, and I'll just pop them in, nicely spaced out. And then I'll put the bag of compost and just top it up a little bit just to cover the tubers. I don't want too much because I'll be earthing these up. So just top them off. So that they're covered. Just firm it down a little bit. And a bit more for good luck, because we are going to need it planting this time of year. For sure. And we'll see what happens with those. I'll keep a couple of these potatoes back just to get some more chits on them. Same thing with the carrots. I've got a couple of labels again, just to let me know what's in and what date I've put them in. These are the only ones that are going in now, and this is a bit of an experiment. I really don't know whether it's going to be warm enough to be able to get these to germinate, but we'll just sprinkle out across the top, try and not get them too clumped together. Just trying to spot the bits that you haven't done. And we'll see how those go. Same thing on this one. I've managed to get 2 years of crop, or I will have if these come up. That single packet of carrot seeds, because I used the same packet last year. And then again, we'll just give this a sprinkle in, just to cover them. I think that should do for that one. Same on this one. And then we'll just firm it down. I don't think there's any need right now to water these. I think there's enough moisture in the compost to, sorry, I'm just checking, it's a piece of wood, I thought it was the potato showing through. Go on, I can't resist. Let's pop another little bit on top of there, just to be on the safe side. I'm obsessing a little bit because I know that these are a little bit early to be going in. So if it seems like I'm being particular, I am. Because I really do want to give them the best chance. So that's it, carrots and potatoes. The first planting of the season, 16th of January. Let's see what happens with those. The kettle's boiled, I can hear it in there. So we'll look at the other raised bed after I've sat down for 5 minutes with a coffee. Well, there we go. That's the first plants going in the ground for 2021. 16th of Jan, I don't know. I guess they'll grow or they won't. I think the potatoes won't be an issue. The carrots, I think we're a little bit early. But if it isn't warm enough, they just won't germinate. So they will come through one way or another. But whether it's as quickly as I want them to remains to be seen. In that covered raised bed, I've got those 5 seed trays. I'm not going to plant all of those because what I want to do is get succession planting. So I think I'll maybe do 2 trays and have a bit of a mixture. I'm leaning towards the cabbage cauliflower, but I have got some turnips somewhere. I might just try putting those in and see how we get on. But I'll keep the other 3 trays to one side, and then in a few weeks' time I can do the same again. I can plant some more seeds into those trays, and hopefully by the time they come through we'll be heading into a bit warmer weather, and I won't need to worry too much about temperature. The only reason I'm doing this now really is as an experiment to see just how early you can plant out and how quickly, or indeed if at all, they actually germinate and produce seedlings. So I'm going to get this coffee down me, all that running around in the polytunnel has got me cold. My hands are cold, certainly. We're at 16 degrees in here, in the cabin. It's not in the garden room for sure. I think we're probably hovering around 7 or 8. I can't see from here. Well, I can see the thermometer, but I've got no chance of reading it from here. That's why I've got these on. Yeah, so there is a distinct difference, but then there would be, because I've got this wood burning stove burning away. I am going to leave that now just to die down, but it will continue to provide heat in the cabin, especially once I've locked the doors up for quite some time. So we are making progress today, which is good. I'll have this coffee and then I'll get out there and plant up those trays. You can see me doing that, and I think it'll be time to go then, because I do need to do another little video clip once I get home for the prize draw. So don't miss that wherever you do. I'll see you shortly. Well, the joys of live video. I've got all my trays in the raised bed. I'm going to use just these two. I'll do one tray of cauliflower, one tray of cabbage. I've got my little labels there to say when I planted them and what they are. I've done the cauliflower already. I was supposed to be videoing while I did this, and when I finished the video clip I went back to the camera. Typical. It wasn't recording. So I'm going to do exactly the same on this one as I did on the other one. I'm just going to make little holes in each of these little cells, and into each of the little holes I'll just drop 2 if I can do it, or 3 if I can't, seeds into each of these little trays. I'd rather I had too many than too few in each cell, because you don't know if they're going to germinate or how many of them are going to germinate. So the cauliflower was the same seeds that I used last year, and I've still got some left. This Savoy cabbage, I didn't grow cabbage at all last year, so it is going to be interesting to see what happens, because you never know. Trying to fiddle with these seeds. And these are not a bad size seeds, to be fair, but I have got stubby fingers, so it's not straightforward. But fortunately you can see if you miss. If I do end up being lucky and having more germinate, I can always just thin them out. But that's those in, so I'll just literally pinch in to firm them down in their little holes. Make sure that they're covered and they've got decent soil contact inside those little cells. And I think I'd be tempted with these to just finally spray these over with a little mist of water, because they are going to be inside those plastic tray covers, so hopefully they will get warm The carrots are out in the open, so they'll get some condensation, but these won't. So I'll spray mist those over with a little spray bottle, pop the lids on. I'll leave the other ones to one side for now, and then in a couple of weeks, well 2 or 3 weeks, I'll do the same. I'll plant 2 more trays up, yet to be decided what's going in those, and then a couple of weeks after the last one, and by then hopefully the temperatures will have got up sufficiently that I don't need to worry about it, and they can go anywhere. They don't necessarily have to be in this covered bed. So that's it, cauliflower and cabbage. I'll just go and grab some water, give these a quick spray, and that should be it. So there we go. We've got our potatoes and carrots. They're in. I do need to make some space in here so I can do some more. I'm going to have to get rid of that panel somewhere. Need to think about that a little bit. And then in the cover bed, those 3 trays are empty. I've just popped that little bit of compost that's left in there just for now. Where are we on temperature? We're at just hovering around 10 degrees. And then I've got the cauliflower. Come on, focus camera. Cauliflower and the Savoy cabbage in there. So we'll get that popped closed. Hopefully it'll start heating up a little bit. There is a tiny little bit of sun, look, trying to peek out. So hopefully that will raise the temperature a bit more. But we are still having really cold nights, so I don't know what's going to happen with this, in all honesty. I guess we'll just see. It is, after all, an experiment. It's all a learning curve, so I'll keep you posted with progress each week, and we'll see how they get on. Well, that's the garden room done. I just need to pop out and close up this polytunnel, but before I do that, you can see what I've got left inside in terms of pots, and I will do a reveal on these carrots as well. So in terms of what I'm left with, I'm left with 1 bag of compost, which is untouched, and then I've got my pots for succession planting of the cabbages, the carrots. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, I've got 18 to go at. So over the next few weeks, every 2 or 3 weeks, I'll start planting those out. And then I've got some trays, some more small trays here. I've got 6 of those, and I'll just leave those for now, give it a few more weeks while the temperatures start to rise a little bit, and hopefully we'll start planting out a few different types of vegetable. So I'll go quickly and grab those carrots from outside, and we'll do a little reveal on those, and then by the time I've done that, because time doesn't stop, it passes by far too quickly, it'll be time to go. Well, I've got my 2 pots of carrots. This is going to be very messy, because this is going to be very wet, and I honestly have no idea how these are going to turn out, because they have been sat in the ground, well, in these pots, out in the field, all the way through this really hard frosts that we've been having. So they might be a complete disaster, who knows. Let's take a little look. But to be fair, I can't really complain about those. There are some extremely small ones in among them, but they don't appear to have suffered too much with the ice. They're looking very nice. Yeah, I've got some fairly decent sized ones here as well. It is just pot luck, you never really know, looking from the outside, what they're going to be like. But to be fair, whilst they're not long, they're not bad. They're certainly eatable, and I will be eating them, I'll guarantee that. This will save me buying some when I go to the shop this weekend. So nice little finger-sized carrots. Not too shabby at all, those. I will let you look in a minute. I'm just getting them out. I will show you the tray. The last couple of strays. And I think that's it for that pot. Oh, there's a tiny, well, that's not even worth bothering, but it's just a bit of foliage. This is extremely wet, but it's not surprising. It does, of course, give me 2 more pots to play with for planting. Not as many in this one, but again we've got some nice sized. There's the odd one that's not really eatable, but the rest are quite decent sized. Maybe one. To be fair, the amount of time they've been in because these were the last ones, and having gone through that massive spell of just rain, followed by quite severe frosts, I didn't expect them to be just a pile of mush, but as you can see, they're not. They're looking very nice. And the rest of that is grass. So, there we go. Carrot reveal done. Get all this put back. And at some point, not today though, I'll get rid of this soil, and then I've got 2 more buckets to plant when the time's ready. So there we go, little carrot reveal. 16th of January and I've got fresh carrots coming out the ground. How nice is that? Bit of randomness, I was charging one of those cameras today. It was sat around 58%, I think, and I thought, well, while I'm here I'll just bang it on charge. And look at the solar, 14.4 and charging. That's really good to see, because those panels, the extra panels, are doing exactly what they should do. So that's going to be interesting. I have a little pet project around heating the cabin that I want to try, and that's the kind of thing I need to see, that maintaining high levels even in this rubbish dark weather that we're having. Well, that's everything locked up. I am going to have to get some more water storage on that garden room. Clearly it's taken a lot of water off that roof, which kind of figures because it's not far off the size of the cabin extension. So yeah, that's food for thought. Everything's locked up. The time just passes by so quick. I can't believe we're halfway through the afternoon. It's almost tea time. A little bit of sunshine peeking out on the field. It's not quite reaching me, stood by the cabin, but thankfully it is hitting the solar. I'm really pleased with that. It was a bit of a concern that I might not be able to get enough power in these winter days to recharge the batteries, but clearly it is. So I'll grab my little carrots and I'll head off home, and then I'll see you again fairly shortly, I hope, for the prize draw. Well, I've literally just walked in the house, having driven home from the cabin, but I wanted to get this done as quickly as I could so that I can get the video from today uploaded. So it's time for the prize draw giveaway. There are 3 prizes. The main prize is the vacuum sealing machine. I don't have that sitting here with me. Caveat on that, if it's somebody from outside the UK that wins, because of the postage cost and no other reason really, I'll substitute that with an Amazon gift voucher in whatever currency it happens to be that you live in. Other 2 prizes I have got here. First one is a water straw or life straw. There is a little bag that goes with this as well. So that's a nice little consolation prize if you don't win the vacuum sealer. And it's something we should all have in our preps really anyway. The second one, a bit off-piste with this, a folding saw. I don't know if many people have got these. I've got several of these in my get home or bug out bags, and there's another one in the bag that I take down to the cabin if I want to be chopping trees down. So I thought that would make a nice little prize as well. So 3 prizes. I've popped everybody's name into the hat, but on this video really it's going to be difficult to see me do that. So what I'll do is I'll quickly pop the camera into the kitchen and pop this on the workbench, and then you can see me physically take out the piece of paper with somebody's name on. So 2 seconds and I'll be right back. So here we are in the kitchen. Apologies for the mess, but I've literally just walked in. I've just grabbed a little pen so that when I draw out the person's name, I can just write on that what prize it is they've won. So all the little names are on pieces of paper inside my little hat. Just shuffle those around a little bit, give them a mix up. So first things first, we'll do the vacuum sealer, or if it's somebody out the UK, the Amazon gift voucher. So just cover that up and let's take a little look. Bob 67. So if you're in the UK, that's the vacuum sealer. If you're outside the UK, that's the Amazon. So congratulations to Bob. Mix these up a little bit more. And Ron Kang. So Ron, if you're in the UK, I'll pop you this water straw in the post, and if not, because obviously I have no idea where you live, I'll do the same thing. I'll pop a Amazon gift voucher into the post for you. You can probably do those electronically actually. So last but not least, let's pluck out another one. Little Dan. So Little Dan, again, if you're in the UK, folding saw coming your way. So all of these 3 people, if you will, just reach out to me on the comment on this video. I'll put my email address in the description box or in the comments, one of the 2 or both. So if you want to email me with your address, and clearly if you're in the UK then the prizes will come through the post, and if you're not then I'll organise an Amazon gift voucher for you. So Bob 67 was the main one, the vacuum sealer. Ron Kang, the water filter or water straw, and Little Dan, the folding saw. So well done to those 3 people. It was amazing how many, look at all these, how many people actually commented. I'd not totaled them all up to see how many there were, but I'm guessing 20 plus. So yeah, an awful lot of people. But there can only be one main prize winner. And we've got 2 little runner-up prizes. Actually, I don't think they're that little. I mean, a folding saw, I'd be very happy to get that in the post. And similarly, a water straw or life straw, I'd be quite content with that as well. So, well done. I'll get those organised as soon as you email me. And I need to get off now and get changed out of my cabin clothes and get cracked on with the editing the video from today. So thanks for taking the time to have a go. Thanks to everybody, as always, for watching the videos and for your comments. And well done to those people, because you've got a prize. How nice is that? Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. What do you think? Are those seeds going to germinate and produce little seedlings in these temperatures we've got right now? I honestly have no idea, but let me know in the comments section below. And for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.